I don't even have to say it. Many of us are over the winter and looking forward to getting our homes and lives ready for the spring, and that's when we clear out the old and bring in the new. But adding some color or greenery can be easier than you think. And there's one woman in particular who knows all about this. In fact, she's the expert. She's joining us this morning, Charlotte Smith. She's the blogger from cybervanity.com. If this table does not make me feel like we are immersed in spring, I don't know what does.
This table alone. This is the only place in Connecticut.
This is the only place in spring right now in Connecticut. All right, so you have a lot of different things to show us, and great ideas every time you hear things for our home and for our lives. We're going to start down here. What are some things we could do? I understand potted bulbs is one of the first things we're going to talk about.
Well, you look like someone who decorates for the season, am I right?
No. My wife handles all of that. I'll help. I do help, yes.
So I wasn't either until I started this blog. And I have to say that when you go outside and there's still snow, this is a really nice way to feel a little bit hopeful that there is a time in our future without snow.
Exactly.
So the first thing that I think is most obvious is plants, and right now there's these potted bulbs in grocery stores everywhere, but my tip is not to just take them home and plop them on your table. Think about ways that you can maybe cover the plastic pots and make them look a little more interesting.
Now, is this like moss? What is this?
It is. It's a, look at, see?
See, I know my stuff.
I knew you'd get it. So this is just sheet moss, and I got this on Amazon, but you can probably get it at craft stores. And I just covered the pots. This is an old basket I had. If sheet moss isn't your jam, these are just napkins, and again, this is an old basket, and when you put the potted plant and you fill it with the napkins, it just makes it look a little more interesting, a little bit less like a grocery store $2 pot.
Wow, it does. Now, you may be talking about this in just the next few minutes, and I don't want to, rush, but these also would make a nice thing with Easter coming up, like if you want a centerpiece for a table or something.
Or a gift, a hostess gift. That's a nice, and the nice thing, I like bulbs because you have a couple weeks. I mean, they grow fast, but they're pretty easy to take care of. And if that intimidates you, then you can also just get the cut flowers. And these daffodils, I think they're $5. These tulips are $10. And what I like to do is I don't get too wound up about the arrangements, is I just find all the little containers I can, and I just cut them and put them in individually, because I think a lot of little containers look a little more interesting.
This is cool right here. You have all the little individual ones. And are those anchored on? Oh, they're glued down to the piece of wood there.
I did that for a blog post, but these I found at a thrift store, and that's what sort of got me thinking, and then that's just some old wood.
And things obviously very cost effective, like you said. You know what I mean? You don't have to spend a lot of money on that.
And if for some reason you have allergies or you travel a lot, these are fake.
Right.
So you can always do that. My tip with fake flowers is to make sure that you rinse them off every once in a while, because
they get dusty.
Cobwebs and dust. You'll blow your cover.
And I didn't even know these were fake when I was over at the desk before. I mean, I thought this was real. I mean, up close you can tell, but it looks good.
No, and these are my favorites, but you never find them at florists. Another tip I have is that I always say to shop your house.
Yes.
So walk around your house, and obviously you can tell every week I come and blue is what's on the table, but blues and greens are my favorites. So a lot of these things I just had kicking around the house, and when you pull them all together, it does make sort of an interesting little vignette.
It certainly does.
That's
and like you said, by breaking a lot of this stuff up, you can spread it all throughout the house. You just don't have to keep it in your kitchen or living room, put it in the bathroom or the bedroom.
Yeah, for sure. So this is a little fancier because I did it, and there may be glare, but I did this for a blog post. But the principle is simple. It's a thrift store frame, and it's just a colorful piece of paper. I painted that, but you could print it out. And then I just wrote a spring quote.
What does it say? No winter lasts forever, no spring skips
its turn.
Its turn. Oh,
Except
I like
for perhaps 2015.
Well, maybe. It will get here eventually.
We'll get there. So this is a little bit crazy, but I love it. This is just wheatgrass, and what I like about it is that in 2 weeks, this is what you have.
Now, I have to tell you, I think, I don't know if she's watching, my mother-in-law had this in her kitchen in a bay window, and she planted it, and it just kind of came up quickly.
Yeah, it's amazing. Your mother-in-law sounds beautiful and very, very smart, Brian.
She's probably not watching, and you said that for no reason.
Next week. So this, again, 2 weeks. I'll just throw, this is a container I had, but you just sprinkle it into some potting soil. I'll leave a little spray bottle next to it, so every time I pass by, I'll give it a squirt. And I just think it's a really fun piece of greenery. If you're into juicing, this is wheatgrass, so you can
use it. Any worry over animals, the cats and dogs that want to get it, keep it up high enough?
My toddler is the only worry. They like to pick
that's
it.
Your children are the only thing you have to worry about.
Yeah, but I think they can eat it, right? If you can juice it.
They probably could, yeah. Or you just may want to put it up high where they can't get to it.
Good
All
idea.
right, but that certainly looks great. And then what's this last thing here?
Last but not least, this is just, I have a thing for linens, and as you can tell, my colors. So I like to, this time of year, I'll just find an old basket, and I'll put together all the linens that I have. I might stick this in our dining room with some glasses, maybe some silverware, so that if we have people over, it's just a nice way to grab from here, and it's also just colorful.
Exactly. A lot of great ideas, and as we mentioned, you know, Easter coming up 1 week from today. These are a lot of nice ideas, you know, to give as a gift, you said, or even put as a centerpiece out on the table, or even these little things, you know, for the people who have to sit at the kid table
decor,
on Easter.
not
Yeah,
things,
exactly,
decor.
exactly. Decor. I got it. All right. A lot of great ideas, Charlotte. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure. I appreciate it. And of course, if you would like more information, all you have to do is go to WTNH.com, click the On Air tab, and pull down to the Good Morning Connecticut weekend section.